Hello everyone, welcome to this video series on Java Technologies Lab. So in this video, I am going to explain the theory and also I am going to show you practically how to work with SQLite DBMS. Okay, so first let's see the aim of the experiment. So the aim of the experiment is to write a Java program to connect to a database by using the JDBC driver and perform different operations on the data in the database. Okay, so simply what we will do is in the previous experiment we have created what is that student registration form, right? So whatever data we are entering into the student registration form, we are going to save all the data in a database. So that is what we are going to do in this uh, program. Okay, for that we will use the JDBC API. Okay, so before going to discuss about JDBC and SQLite, so let's see first of all what is a database. So here I am going to just give you a very brief introduction to what is a database, DBMS, etc. So in detail you will be learning all these concepts in the subject of database management systems. Okay, so let's see. So how do you define a database? A database is defined as collection of related data. Okay, for example, if you take a student database, the database contains all the details of students. So similarly, if you take an employee database, the employee database contains all the details with respect to employees in an organization. Okay, and there are different types of databases. That is how based on how the data is to actually stored. So if you see, there is something called relational database. So in a relational database, the data is stored in the form of tables, rows and columns. Similarly, there are network databases, there is hierarchical database, there is file-based database, and there are object databases and various other types of databases. Okay, so here I have mentioned in a relational database, data is organized in the form of rows and columns. So relational databases are very popular. Many people use them across the world. So that is some introduction to database. Now let's see what is a DBMS. So DBMS, first of all, is a software which contains different tools or provides different options for reading the data, updating the data, deleting the data in the database. So basically, what do we do using a DBMS is you can write queries. Uh, so you can think of a query as a command for doing something on the database. So you can write queries and you can get the data. You can insert new data, or you can update the existing data, or you can delete the data that you don't want in the database. Okay, not only these things, DBMS might support various other options like you can back up the data, that is, save the data somewhere. You can create security roles. For example, if you want to add an administrator or if you want to add different roles like a moderator, etc., you can do that using a DBMS. And what are the different examples of DBMSs are Oracle, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Access, Sybase, PostgreSQL, and the thing we are going to see in this program experiment 2 is SQLite DBMS. So we are going to actually use this one, SQLite. Okay. So all these are different examples of DBMSs. Okay. So now let's come to SQLite. So a brief introduction to what is SQLite. So first of all, SQLite is a relational database management system. I already told you what is a relational database. Data is stored in the form of tables. And also, SQLite is self-contained. Okay, that means it is a single package. It's a very small size single package, and it does not have any server. You don't have any server. But if you see Oracle, MySQL, and any other kind of DBMS, you will have something called server. So you have to connect to the server and do whatever you want. But SQLite is not like that. It does not have any server. You simply perform operations on files directly. You perform operations directly on files. For example, you can see here, it reads and writes directly to ordinary disk files. There is nothing called server. Okay, and there is no configuration that is required for SQLite. It is very simple. Okay, and it supports transactions. Okay, so SQLite does not have any separate server process. It is not there. Okay, and what are the different commands that are supported by SQLite is it supports all the basic SQL commands. So it supports data definition language commands like create, alter, drop. It supports data manipulation language commands like insert, update, delete. It supports data query language commands like select. Okay, so again I am telling you, the goal of this experiment or program number 2 is not about how to write the different queries. So it is to just show how to perform the queries on SQLite DBMS. So how to write the queries and all these things you will learn in DBMS. Okay, right. Now the first thing we are going to see is how to create a database using SQLite. So here I will show you the command and also I will demonstrate the same thing on my system. So see how to create a database is by using this command SQLite 3 followed by database name dot db. Okay. So how to do this is, first of all, in my previous video I told you that I have created a folder called SQLite, right? I created a folder called SQLite. So at this location, I am going to store all my databases. So this is where I store my databases. So you see there is already a database called students, right? So now what should I do is open a command prompt like this. Okay, open the command prompt and you navigate to this location, which is dsoft SQLite. So I am going to D drive, soft SQLite. Okay, so I am at this location now, which is this location. Okay, dsoft SQLite. Now let's give this command SQLite 3. Database name I am giving as employees.db and hit enter. So if you are seeing this prompt means SQLite prompt means the database is created. So you can verify by going here. Okay, so it's actually not created. So let's see what happens. Okay, so SQLite 3 employees.db. Okay, so next command is to verify whether the database is created or not. You can use this command. So dot databases. Oh, you can see there is a database already called employees.db. Yes, it is created, right? Here it is, employees.db. Okay. So what did we do so far? We have created a database and we have verified whether the database is created or not. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. So now we will see how to attach and detach a database. So what is the need for attaching and detaching a database is, for example, if you see here, there are multiple databases. One is employees database, another one is students database, right? So if you have multiple databases and you need to connect to one of the databases, you need to attach the database. So how to attach a database? The command is like this: attach database database name as alias name. Okay, so let's see how to do that. Attach database name is employees.db as emp. Okay, and you need to give a semicolon, so I forgot the semicolon. Okay, so again, how to verify whether the database is attached or not means you give this command dot databases. Okay, now you can see there is a new database called emp, which is referring to the same database employees.db. Okay, so you have attached to the database employees.db using the name emp. Okay, so next, if you want to detach or unlink from the database, you can give the command detach database alias name. So I am giving detach database alias name is emp. Again semicolon. Okay, it's done. So again, how to verify dot databases. Okay, you can see that there is only main and this thing is gone. emp is gone. Okay, right. So this is how you check. Okay, and I would like to mention one more point. So when I give the databases command, you are only seeing employees, but you are not seeing the students. Okay, even if you are not seeing that, you can attach it by writing attach database students.db as std semicolon. Okay, you can see no, I am not getting any error. So you give databases and you can see there is a new database, attached database std, which is referring to students.db. Okay, now again you can give detached database std semicolon. It is detached. How to verify dot databases. Okay, so this is attaching a database and detaching a database. Next one is creating a table. So I think all of you already know how to create a table using the command create table, the table name you want, parenthesis, open parenthesis, column name, data type. If you want it to be a primary key, you can give primary key. Similarly, you can write n number of columns, closing parenthesis, semicolon. So let's do it. Okay. Right. So let me give dot databases and see what is available. So we have employees.db, right? So what I can do is create table employee, open parenthesis, employee ID. So let the ID be integer and I want this column to be primary key. Okay, comma, enter. Employee name, let this be text field. Okay, so I think 2 columns are enough for this. Closing parenthesis, semicolon, enter. Okay, so the table is created. How to verify whether table is created means you have a command called dot tables. So you can see employee table is created. Okay, so you have the command dot tables to check whether table is created or not. Now you might want to see the structure or description of the table. What is meant by structure or description of the table means the column names, data types, and any other information that is associated. So for that, you have to give these 3 commands. So let me do that. Dot header on and dot mod column. Okay, and command is pragma space table underscore info table name employee semicolon. Okay, now you can see the description, right? So this is the column ID, the name of the column, employee ID, employee name, corresponding data type, and if it is the column is not null or not, so 0 means it can be null. So if you have 1 here means that is not null. And primary key, here it is 1 means this column is the primary key. EID is the primary key and ename is a normal column, it's not a primary key. Okay, so that is how you create a table. Next, drop table. So simply the command is drop table name. For example, the table we have created is employee semicolon. So when you hit enter, the table will be deleted. So I am not going to do that. So drop table. So next one is select command. So if you want to see the data in the table, you can use this command. So the syntax is this: select columns you want to be displayed from whatever table you want. So if you want the data from all the columns, you simply give select star from table name. So let's do this. Select star from employee semicolon. Okay, so you are not seeing anything. Why you are not seeing anything means I didn't insert any data into the table. So let's see how to insert the data. So this is the command: insert into table name, column names followed by values and the actual values. So let me do this. Insert into table name is employee values. So first one is employee ID, right? 1 comma. So second one is employee name, Harsha, semicolon. Okay, it's inserted. Similarly, second row, 2 Vani. Okay, inserted. Similarly, row number 3 Kiran, inserted. Now if you give the select command, select star from employee, now you can see the data which I have given here: 1 Harsha, 2 Vani, 3 Kiran. Okay, so that is the insert command. So similarly you have update command. So this is the command syntax: update whatever table name you want to update, set column name is equal to value. Similarly you can give a number of columns, and if you want any condition you can specify it using the where clause. So let's see this command in action. Update employee set employee name equal to what I am going to do is I want to change this Kiran to Karan. Okay, so I am changing the employee name to Karan, where the employee ID is equal to 3 semicolon. Okay, so I think it's updated. So how to check? Again, give select star from employee. So you can see the name has been updated from Kiran to Karan. Okay, next, delete command. So if you want to delete one or more rows based on some condition, you can do that using delete command. So let's do this. Delete from table name. Let's give the table name as employee, where let's say I want to delete the third row. So I am giving EID is equal to 3. Okay, so how to check? select star from employee. So you can see the third row is deleted. Okay, so that's the delete command. So this is how you perform SQL commands on SQLite DBMS. So I hope everybody is able to follow. Okay, so if you have any uh, doubts or any questions, please comment in the comment section. So let's proceed. Now we are moving on to JDBC. So JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. Okay. So what is actually JDBC is? It's a Java API. So it's actually a set of classes and interfaces, some code which allows you to connect and execute queries on a DBMS. So for example, just now we have executed some commands, right? So what I am doing here is I am directly giving the commands to the database and we are seeing the results. So what we are going to do using JDBC is we are going to do the same thing, that is execute SQL commands but from a Java program. Okay, we are going to execute SQL commands from a Java program. So for that we need JDBC. Okay, now JDBC is a part of Java Standard Edition. So if you download JDK, you are going to also get JDBC API. Okay, now this JDBC API uses something called JDBC drivers. Okay, so you can say driver is a software which allows you to connect with the database. Okay, right. And there are four types of JDBC drivers. So one is JDBC ODBC bridge driver. Second one is native driver. Third one is called as network protocol driver. And fourth one and very frequently used one is thin driver. Okay, so in our program we are going to use this thin driver, right? Actually the first driver is very old. Nowadays nobody is using this JDBC ODBC widget driver. It is not used nowadays. And actually second one will also be not used most of the time. The only drivers which are used frequently are the third one and fourth one, network protocol driver and thin driver. So we will be using the thin driver. Okay, and Java provides this package called java.sql. So this package contains the JDBC API. So all the classes and interfaces which belongs to JDBC API are in the package whose name is java.sql. Okay, structured query language. So I hope all of you understood what is JDBC. So JDBC is just some predefined Java code which allows you to connect with a database and do some operations like insert, update, delete, etc. Okay, and for that to work with JDBC we need some kind of drivers. Okay, so who is going to provide the drivers is the database vendors will provide the driver. So actually in the previous video I asked you to download this JDBC driver, right? So where did you download this from? You downloaded this from SQLite website, which is available in Maven repository. So you can see the name here, SQLite JDBC driver. Okay, so you are going to use this one in our program to connect with SQLite DBMS. So that's the thing. Okay, finally let's see what is the output. So this is actually the student registration form that we have created in first lab program, right? So now what happens is when I click this submit button, it will display all the details here, and also all these details will be inserted into the students table. Okay, all these details will be inserted into students table, right? And you can check the details in the students table. So the details will be entered like this. register number, name, mobile, course, branch, section. So in fact I will show you directly here. So let's see what tables are there. So employee is there. mm, let's attach students database, attach database, uh, student dot db as std. Okay, no such column. Hmm. Let's view course. Okay, so verify whether it is created or not. Yes, std is created. Now let's give dot tables. Still we are getting employee. So anyhow, let's give select star from. I think the name of the table in student database is data. Okay, so let's give std dot data. Hmm. Or no. Let me come out of this dot quit dir. So here we have students dot db. Mm, so again going into SQLite 3. Okay. Dot databases, nothing is there. So let's try to attach database. mm, Database name students dot db as std. Okay, dot databases, dot tables. Yeah, now there is the table std dot data. Okay, so how to see the data from the table? Select star from data. Okay, now you can see the rows here, right? Okay, so whatever I enter as input from the student registration form will be entered here into the table. So that is the goal of the program. So now you are seeing this format now. So the student ID, some vertical bar, Harsha vertical bar like this. So if you want to see it in the nice format, what you have to do is dot header on. We have already seen this in the previous uh, I mean few minutes back we have already seen this, right? So dot mode column. Okay, now if you give select star from data, now you see in a nice format. Okay, this is good, right? Rather than this is better. Okay, so this is how you can work with SQLite DBMS. So in the next video, I am going to show you the code for connecting to the database and storing the data in the database. So if you like the video, hit the like button, and if you have any doubts, let me know in them in the comment section. Thank you.